Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the Greensboro Coliseum Complex in Greensboro, South Carolina. And Monday Night Raw tonight, this show was very mid in my opinion. Very mediocre show. Nothing newsworthy happened on the show tonight. It was boring. Just flat out mid-show it was. But tonight on Monday Night Raw, we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. We had a number one contenders battle royal, and the winner of that battle royal will get to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. But it was a jobber battle royal. We had Dominik Mysterio. He ended up taking on Xavier Woods. We already seen this happened already. We also saw Indus year. This was Veer and Shanga. And they ended up defeating two local jobbers. We had Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green. And the main event, we had Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Overall, Monday Night Raw, very mid-show it was. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So both Owens and Zayn end up making their way down to the ring. So we end up seeing clips of what we saw on SmackDown on Friday when Paul Heyman ended up announcing that both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will defend the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles against Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. Which obviously Sikoa and Roman are not going to win the titles. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to retain at Night of Champions. So it wouldn't make sense for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to go to Saudi Arabia, for the first time, because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they didn't even want to go to Saudi Arabia, when WWE started doing shows in Saudi Arabia. But from what I read and heard, Sami Zayn is making the trip to Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia end up restoring relations with Syria. So that's why Sami Zayn is making the trip down there to Saudi Arabia with Kevin Owens to defend, the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles against Solo Sikoa and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So Sami Zayn got on the mic. He ended up saying that he is excited because him and Owens found out on Friday about their match at Night of Champions. He wanted to say that as paper, it's as big of a threat for their titles as there is. But Sami Zayn ended up saying that him and Owens see that as a gift because they are getting a chance for revenge on the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So Sami Zayn ended up saying, to be honest, Owens should have beaten the Tribal Chief for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. He ended up saying that he knows that at Elimination Chamber, Owens should have beaten Roman, and that Roman has cheated his way throughout his entire reign as champion. So Sami Zayn ended up saying that Roman is making a good job, that the bloodline crumbles all by himself, and that he is pushing the Usos so far, and he is pushing this championship thing for him. He ended up saying that it's not enough to have the WWE Championship, to have the Universal Championship, and to be champion for 1,000 days. And now Roman wants the tag team titles, the undisputed WWE tag team titles. Sami Zayn ended up telling Roman that he can't have the titles. So we had the Judgment Day's music end up hitting. So the Judgment Day ended up coming out. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Dominik Mysterio. Owens ended up telling people in the back to cut the music. And Owens ended up saying that he is glad that the Judgment Day came out because he is sick of talking about the bloodline and that he doesn't know why the Judgment Day are out here to say, but if they want to fight, to fight. So Sami Zayn ended up saying this might be his fault. You know what I'm saying? That he started on a 10, but Owens is higher than that right now. But they don't have a problem with the Judgment Day. So Sami Zayn ended up saying, gentlemen and Dom, the floor is all yours. So Sami Zayn gave the floor to the Judgment Day. Damian Priest got on the mic. Damian Priest ended up saying that Owens was spot on and that he would like to fight. Balor ended up telling them to calm down and that they are here to fight. And he ended up saying they are here to wish them the best of luck on their match. So Owens and Sami Zayn were confused. And so Balor ended up saying that last week they said they were done with the bloodline. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up saying that they were done with the bloodline. But they are right back to where it started. So Priest ended up saying, oh, back to being beaten up by the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So Balor ended up saying, but if by some miracle, and they do win, there will be a whole line of superstars waiting for them. And the line starts here. Meaning in the back of the line. So Rhea ended up telling Owens and Zayn that the Judgment Day, they run Monday Night Raw. And I don't know why Rhea Ripley is still carrying the SmackDown Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw when she is a part of the Monday Night Raw roster. What are we doing with the women's titles? You have Rhea Ripley, a part of the Monday Night Raw roster, and she's still holding the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair is on SmackDown. She's still holding the Raw Women's Championship. What the fuck are we doing? I'm surprised they didn't do a trade. Have Bianca Belair give Rhea Ripley the Raw Women's Championship and Rhea Ripley give Bianca the SmackDown Women's Championship. Like I said, it's going to be with them if they do it, which I know that they are at some point. It's going to be, oh, here you go. Would you want my peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And I'll have your bologna and cheese? Oh, yeah. Yeah, here you go. I'm in the mood for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Here you go. That's what it's going to be like. So Kevin Owens ended up telling Sami Zayn he wanted to hear them out. Sami Zayn ended up saying that he would like to hear what Dom has to say about it. So the fans end up booing Dom. Of course, when Rhea Ripley was on the mic and when she ended up saying, oh, the Judgment Day run Monday Night Raw, she got a chant from the crowd, big crowd chant. They were all chanting Mammy. But we had Dominik end up getting on the mic. And as soon as he began to talk, the fans end up booing him very loudly. And he was unable to talk. Good heat that, Dom is getting from the crowd. But I could tell that some of the boos were piped in because, WWE likes putting in piped in noise to think that, oh, the fans are booing loudly for Dominik, but they're just sitting there, not booing and just watching what's going on. They're sitting on their hands. So Kevin Owens ended up saying it is pointless. He ended up asking Sami Zayn if he can punch him in the face already. So Sami Zayn ended up saying, why not? So Kevin Owens was going to punch Dominik, but Rhea Ripley got in Owens' way. So Priest then hit Sami Zayn with a right hand, and the Judgment Day end up attacking Kevin Owens. All four of them end up attacking Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn end up grabbing a chair. He got into the ring, and the Judgment Day end up getting out of the ring, and pretty much that was basically that. So later on in the night, we saw Balor and Damian Priest versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight. But overall, I thought this was a good segment to open, Monday Night Raw here, with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Judgment Day. As I say, the Judgment Day, aside from the Bloodline, they are becoming the best group in WWE, in my opinion, next to the Bloodline. And then we had the first match of the night, Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. Very mid-match this was. So the match ended up starting. Nakamura delivered some kicks to The Miz. He threw Miz into the ropes, and Nakamura ended up hitting Miz with a flying knee. Nakamura then delivered a knee to Miz's face. He started stomping away on The Miz in the corner. Nakamura ended up going for another kick to The Miz, but The Miz ended up kicking Nakamura away. Miz then started choking Nakamura on the second rope. The referee ended up having to break it up. So Miz delivered a running kick to the back of Nakamura's head, to which Nakamura went down. So Miz ended up grabbing Nakamura, but Nakamura threw Miz to the outside. Nakamura then delivered a sliding kick on the outside to The Miz. Nakamura then ended up placing Miz on the ring apron, and he ended up hitting Miz with a knee to his face. So Miz was on the ring apron. Nakamura was going for a kick, but Miz ended up moving out of the way. Miz then ended up hitting Nakamura with a neck breaker across the second rope, and Nakamura then ended up falling to the outside. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Nakamura was in control of the match. He locked in an armbar on The Miz in the middle of the ring. Miz reversed that into a cover, and Nakamura kicked out. Miz then delivered a DDT to Nakamura, and he ended up going for the cover, and Nakamura kicked out again. So we had Nakamura doing a slide and release German suplex to The Miz. Nakamura was going for the Kinshasa, but Miz dropped Nakamura to the mat. He ended up grabbing the ring apron. So when Miz grabbed the ring apron, it distracted the referee. So Miz then raked Nakamura's eyes, and he hit Nakamura with the skull-crushing finale. So as Miz ended up going for the cover after the skull-crushing finale, Nakamura got his foot on the bottom rope, to which Miz couldn't believe that because he didn't see Nakamura's foot on the bottom rope. So Miz then grabbed Nakamura. Nakamura rolled him up into a cover. Miz kicked out. And then Nakamura laid out The Miz with the Kinshasa. Nakamura ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Shinsuke Nakamura ended up winning the match. Overall, very mid-match this was. And then we had Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Of course, they were backstage arguing with Adam Pearce. Raquel Rodriguez, Smiley Raquel, was there also. Adam Pearce ended up saying to Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green that Liv Morgan is injured and that she is not medically cleared to compete. And yes, Liv Morgan is not medically cleared to compete. She is actually injured. So Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville end up mocking Liv Morgan, saying that, oh, she's scared to compete. So Sonya Deville ended up saying, as a former member of management, she would have Raquel and Liv forfeit the Women's Tag Team Championships, and that her and Chelsea Green would be the new Women's Tag Team Champions. So Raquel ended up saying that she would be happy to defend Liv's honor against Chelsea Green later on in the night. So Chelsea then ended up telling Raquel that she is going to regret it. So Adam Pearce then made the match official. So we had Raquel Rodriguez, Smiley Raquel, versus Chelsea Green later on in the night. But I don't care about this feud with Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, and Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. Who cares about this feud? Do you all care? I don't. Awful. So then we saw a video package hyping up Seth Rollins and his career. And this was really good. This had Corey Graves interviewing Seth Rollins. Went through his whole career. When he was in NXT, in 2012. And then when him, Moxley, and Roman Reigns came up to the main roster, when they were the Shield, one of the best factions in all of WWE. I missed the Shield. Such good times, with the Shield. Whenever they used to come out and have matches. So then they showed, of course, when Seth Rollins ended up turning his back on the Shield, hitting Roman with the chair on Monday Night Raw. And Seth Rollins was like, oh, if I didn't hit Roman with the chair, what would have happened? What would have happened for the Shield? But it was a very good, interview with, Seth Rollins. They aired it in 2 parts, though. So this was the first part. So then Corey Graves brought up to Rollins when Rollins ended up hitting Roman with the chair, and he turned on the Shield on Monday Night Raw. So Rollins ended up telling Corey Graves that the Shield have beaten everyone there was to beat. And that's, of course, true. When the Shield was dominating, they ended up beating everyone. And so Rollins was like to Corey Graves, if you wanted to reach success, the ultimate success, you got to take risks. So Rollins ended up telling Corey Graves that if he didn't hit Roman's back with the chair, what would the future look like? So pretty much that was basically that. And then part 2 is, of him, Corey Graves end up telling Rollins, what would it be like to, be World Heavyweight Champion? So, but pretty much that was basically that. But very good, little video package with Corey Graves interviewing Seth Rollins here. Just good stuff. And then we had Imperium. Imperium ended up coming out. Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, and Gunther. Gunther ended up making his Monday Night Raw debut. He's back, from his wedding. So they made their way down. Gunther stood on top of the commentary table. Kaiser ended up getting on the mic. He ended up saying that he demands all their gratitude for the Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. So Kaiser then ended up handing Gunther the mic as Gunther still stood on the commentary table. And I liked how the way that Kaiser ended up handing Gunther the mic. He just went like... So very nice and slow that Kaiser, gave the mic to Gunther. So Gunther ended up saying, perhaps an introduction is due. He ended up saying that he dominated SmackDown for almost a year as the undefeated and longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of the modern era. And that's good. Gunther, still glad that he's still the Intercontinental Champion, holding the title for almost a year. So I hope they don't take the title off of him, very soon. So Gunther ended up saying, but from this day forward, he shall continue his mission on Monday Night Raw. he kept saying no man on Raw has yet been identified as being the next challenger for his great prize, or has earned his respect. He kept saying, in a few minutes, one man can achieve both. And the match will determine his next challenger for his Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. And then when Monday Night Raw came back from commercial, we had the number one contenders battle royal to determine who will face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. Basically, this was a jobber battle royal. You had Mustafa Ali in there. You had the Maximum Male Models, Marseille and Mansoir. You had the Viking Raiders. You had the Alpha Academy, Bronson Reed, Apollo Crews. Dolph Ziggler was in this. Johnny Gargano. You had Baron Corbin. Von Wagner, who was a free agent. You had Dexter Lumis. Ricochet. Elias. You had Cedric Alexander in there. Shelton Benjamin. But this was just meh, in my opinion. Well, you also had Matt Riddle in there, forgot to mention. So, yeah, Matt Riddle ended up coming in there, he ended up kicking his flip-flops in front of Imperium, which angered them. So, the match got underway. Corbin ended up throwing Tozawa. Yeah, Akira Tozawa was also another one in the match. Corbin ended up throwing Tozawa over the top rope, and Dexter Lumis ended up eliminating Corbin from the match. The Maximum Male Models eliminated Dexter Lumis. Alpha Academy then ended up eliminating the Maximum Male Models. Dexter Lumis walked towards them, and they ran to the back, which the surprised look on their face was like, ah! So fucking stupid. So cringe. But them go, ah! And then run to the back. So Dolph Ziggler ended up eliminating JD McDonough, which I forgot to mention, he was also in it. So Ziggler eliminated JD McDonough, and we had Von Wagner eliminating Dolph Ziggler. JD McDonough ended up throwing Dolph into the ring steps, and he slammed Dolph's head into the ring steps. So it looks like from here we might be getting a matchup with JD McDonough and Dolph Ziggler at some point. Who would care to see that? So then, as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Owens ended up eliminating Eric and Ivar, ended up eliminating Chad Gable. Bronson Reed eliminated Otis and Ivar from the match. Apollo Crews ended up eliminating Elias. Bronson Reed eliminated Apollo Crews. Matt Riddle ended up eliminating Riddick Moss. And then he ended up eliminating Johnny Gargano. So the final four came down to Matt Riddle, Ricochet, Mustafa Ali, and Bronson Reed. So Imperium ended up attacking Matt Riddle, who was on the apron, and Bronson Reed ended up eliminating Matt Riddle from the match. So it was now down to Ricochet, Bronson Reed, and Mustafa Ali. So Ricochet and Mustafa Ali, they were trying to eliminate Bronson Reed, but Bronson Reed ended up landing on the ring apron. Bronson Reed was doing everything he can to hang on to the ropes and not get eliminated. Because Bronson Reed, he's a big guy. So Ricochet delivered a dropkick onto Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed was still hanging on the ring apron. Ricochet climbed the top rope. Bronson Reed ended up catching Ricochet. And then Mustafa Ali delivered a dropkick off the top rope, and he eliminated both Bronson Reed and Ricochet. So there you go. Mustafa Ali ended up winning the Battle Royal. So now he's the number one contender to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. But Mustafa Ali, he's going to job to Gunther at Night of Champions. Gunther is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. The only reason why they made Mustafa Ali win this battle royal and be the number one contender is because of politics and for him to be on the Saudi show. And you already know at some point, that WWE is going to have and find a way for the maximum male models to be on Night of Champions because Mansoor is from Saudi Arabia. So that's going to happen. Watch WWE do that. They're going to find a way for the maximum male models to be on Night of Champions because Mansoor is from Saudi Arabia. But yeah, that's the only reason why Mustafa Ali ended up winning. Politics and because the show is in Saudi Arabia. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch ended up coming down to the ring, got a big pop from the crowd. Becky got on the mic. She ended up saying, part of being the man is admitting that you are going through stuff. She ended up saying, you put on the face that you need to put on to become who you need to be. She ended up saying, sometimes when it becomes too overwhelming, you have to man up and ask for help. Becky ended up saying that she asked for help from two legends, Lita and Trish Stratus. Becky ended up saying that Lita was great, and Trish had not skipped a beat. She ended up saying that she let Trish get close to her family, and she was unable to see what was probably obvious. She ended up saying that Trish came back to help herself, like the backstabbing egomaniac that she is. So Becky ended up saying, despite all that, she wanted to come out and thank Trish. So Becky ended up saying that she wants to thank Trish because when she hit her in the back of the head, she turned on a light that had been turned off for many months. She ended up saying that when Trish stood in the ring and called her daughter stupid, she reminded her that the only thing that matters in this life is stand up to those who rely on us. Becky ended up saying that at one point, Trish was number one in the business. But she has done it before, and she does not need a championship to prove it. Becky ended up saying that she will show Trish how thankful she is when she kicks her head in at Night of Champions. So pretty much that was basically what Becky had to say. But overall, it was a pretty, meh segment from Becky Lynch. I don't even care about this feud between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. I mean, Trish Stratus, if you watched Monday Night Raw last week, did you see that god-awful promo that Trish Stratus done? Talking about Becky Lynch and saying, oh, you're all going to say to me, thank you, Trish. What an awful promo that was from Trish Stratus last week. God-awful. So fucking cringe. And then we saw Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was backstage. She was watching what Becky had to say on the TV. Kathy Kelly ended up coming up to Rhea. So Rhea ended up telling Kathy Kelly that Natalya needs to stay in her lane. She ended up saying that she has had an impressive career. So then Natalya ended up interrupting Rhea Ripley. Natalya ended up telling Rhea this is not about lanes. This is about her being down a woman that was already beaten. So she ended up saying that she is the champion, the most dominant to ever hold it. So Natalya ended up telling Rhea that she deserves nothing but respect, but she isn't earning it. So Rhea ended up telling Natalya not to pretend she came out to Raw last week for Dana Brooke. So Rhea ended up saying that Natalya came out to make everyone care for her again. So Rhea Ripley ended up telling Natalya that she is welcome, but if she ever interrupts her again, she will not help boost her career. She is going to end it. So Dominik then ended up coming. Dominik ended up tapping Rhea on the shoulder, and then Dominik and Rhea ended up walking off, holding hands, and pretty much that was basically that. who cares about this whole Rhea Ripley and Natalya, feud here? I don't care. So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Mustafa Ali was backstage. He was celebrating about him winning the Battle Royal and being number one contender to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. He's like, yeah. Like he just won the lottery. I mean, Mustafa Ali has been nothing but a jobber. And he's celebrating because he won a Battle Royal to a match he's going to have that he's going to job to. And that he's not going to win the Intercontinental Championship. So he's celebrating that he won a Battle Royal. And he's celebrating that he's going to get his ass kicked by Gunther at Night of Champions. So he bumped into the Alpha Academy. He bumped into Chad Gable and Otis. So Mustafa Ali ended up telling the Alpha Academy that he used to be a loser like them. And now he is a winner. He only has won one match so far in this Battle Royal. He won 2 recent matches. And he's saying to himself, oh, I'm now a winner. Yet, this guy was a loser for many times that he had matches. When was the last time that Mustafa Ali won a match besides the one match that he had and this Battle Royal? Can you name me the last match before all this that he won? I can't remember. So, Mustafa Ali ended up walking and he saw Imperium. Gunther congratulated Mustafa Ali. He kept saying that he feels sorry for him and that he will travel halfway across the world and lose, which that's going to be the case. Gunther ended up extending his arm for Mustafa Ali to shake his hand, and Mustafa Ali ended up shaking Gunther's hand. Mustafa Ali ended up saying that he feels bad for Gunther and that he has to go all the way there and all the way back just for him to beat him, humiliate him, and take his Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Dominik Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. Didn't we just see this not too long ago? So it was the same shit. So the match ended up starting. Xavier Woods delivered an armbar to Dominik, which was followed up by a chop to Dominik's chest. Xavier Woods delivered a drop kick to Dominik. He ended up going for the cover. Dom kicked out. Dom ended up throwing Woods into the corner, started stomping away on him. So Woods got back up, delivered a drop kick to Dom. Woods then locked in another armbar to Dom, but Dom delivered some right hands and some kicks to Woods. Dominik ended up grabbing Woods, but Woods delivered a suplex to Dom. Woods ended up going for the cover, and Dom kicked out. Dom rolled to the outside, and he hid behind Rhea Ripley, who was also out there. So Xavier Woods tried to get to Dom, but Dom got into the ring. So as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Xavier Woods was in control of the match. He delivered a drop kick off the top rope to Dom. Woods then delivered a chop to Dom's chest and some right hands. Woods ended up going for the cover, and Dom kicked out. Xavier Woods ended up going for a clothesline to Dom. Woods ended up going for the cover, but Dom ended up kicking out again. So Woods got on the apron. Dom ended up delivering a right hand. Dom got Woods into the ring. He ended up hitting him with a suplex. And he ended up hitting Woods with the Three Amigos. Of course, which got boos. So Dom ended up climbing up to the top rope. He ended up going for the frog splash, but Xavier Woods ended up getting his knees up. Woods went for the cover, and Dom kicked out. So Dom ended up rolling to the outside of the ring. Woods ended up hitting him with a splash. Rhea then distracted Xavier Woods as Dom got back to the ring. Rhea ended up hitting Woods with a right hand, and Dom ended up hitting Woods with a baseball slide. Dom ended up throwing Xavier Woods back in the ring. He rolled up Xavier Woods and he ended up winning the match. So Dominik Mysterio ended up winning the match. Overall, just the same old shit that we've seen with them. And then we got a video promo from JD McDonough, saying, he's on Raw now and what the superstars are to expect, with him being there. So very good promo from JD McDonough. Very good video package. So then JD McDonough was shown leave the arena. Kathy Kelly ended up stopping him. So Kathy Kelly ended up asking JD McDonough why he attacked Dolph Ziggler earlier and throwing him into the ring steps. So JD ended up saying to Kathy Kelly that he is on Raw to make a statement. And who better to start with than with Dolph Ziggler? So he ended up leaving the arena. And then all we see at the top, Finn Balor was there. Finn Balor was watching, JD McDonough. This is a little tease, that maybe Balor can encourage JD McDonough to join the Judgment Day. Which that is what I would like. I like to see, JD McDonough in the Judgment Day. I think he would fit perfectly there. So that's a little tease there. That maybe JD McDonough might join the Judgment Day and be the new member. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, God. We had Indus Sheer. This is Veer and Shanga, accompanied by Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is back on Monday Night Raw. God help us. So they end up beating two jobbers. So Indus Sheer end up winning. Nothing for me to describe in this match. Then Jinder Mahal got on the mic. He ended up saying that Indus Sheer run Monday Night Raw and their future is written in gold. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Their future is written in gold. You kidding me? So then we saw Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were sitting backstage. In came Imperium. Gunther ended up telling Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that he will not tolerate the disrespect he shows them last week. Kevin Owens ends up saying they have a fight tonight, but next week they can fight the three of them. So Sami Zayn ended up saying that him and Kevin Owens will find a partner for next week. So it's going to be a 6-man tag next week. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ended up coming out, got a loud pop from the crowd. They were singing away to his theme song, going the whoa. So the fans were chanting Cody's name. Cody ended up asking the crowd there in Greensboro what they want to talk about. He ended up saying that he knows this arena. This is the very first home of Starrcade. He ended up saying a wonderful memory, a great amount of mutual respect. Cody ended up saying that Brock Lesnar is not here tonight, but they're a fun audience, and he will try one out. Cody ended up asking the crowd if they have heard the one about the scorpion and the frog. He ended up saying there's a scorpion on one side of the river, and he asked the frog who can hop and swim if he can get a ride to the other side of the river. He ended up saying that the frog says no, because the scorpion will sting him. And that the scorpion says if he stings him, the frog will die, and they will both die. Cody ended up saying that the frog agrees, and halfway across the river, the scorpion stings him. He ended up saying that as the poison fills up his lungs, the frog asks the scorpion why. And the scorpion says it is his nature. So Cody ended up saying it is Brock Lesnar's nature to hunt. He ended up saying that he must be hunting, but to make sure if he is hunting, how his face is. Yeah, so Cody was like to Lesnar, "Oh, how is your face?" Cody ended up saying that he knows Lesnar sees a lion, but you should also see a black eye and a set of staples. Cody ended up saying that when Brock looks in the mirror, he sees the person who did that. He ended up saying that someone who beat the biggest bully in WWE history. So then Cody ended up saying that he gladly accepts Brock Lesnar's challenge at Night of Champions. So Cody ended up saying that there has always been this talk about Brock's ego, his dates. He ended up saying that the reason Lesnar is on top is because he is better than 99% of the superstars who enter the ring. Cody ended up saying that at Backlash, Lesnar was not better than him. Cody ended up saying that Lesnar called it a cheap win, a counter to a wrestling move in a wrestling ring. Cody ended up saying that even if he would have somehow gotten the win in 20 seconds, he would have found excuses. Cody ended up saying that this is about who is the big thing on Monday Night Raw. So the fans started chanting Cody's name. He ended up saying the next big thing. That's what they said about Brock Lesnar. Of course, when Brock Lesnar started in 2002, everyone was saying, "Oh, Brock Lesnar is the next big thing. Here comes the pain." So Cody ended up saying, "Oh, the people are right." But eventually what happens when they just say next? He ended up saying that he has conquered WWE and at this sport, but they are at the point where he needs to take his busted face because he is not the big thing anymore. So Cody ended up saying that Brock is simply in his way. So Cody then dropped the mic and he left the ring. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good promo from Cody here. But, it's the same thing, him mentioning about Brock Lesnar. Again, Cody versus Brock 2 at Night of Champions. It's going to be the same match that we saw at Backlash. So it's going to be the same shit. And then we had Raquel Rodriguez, Smiley Raquel, coming out there in her glasses, smiling away. So then Chelsea Green ended up making her way out. And this was boring. This was absolutely boring match. Match starter, Raquel delivered a running boot to Chelsea's face. She then ended up slamming Chelsea face first into the turnbuckle. Raquel lifted Chelsea up. Sonya Deville got on the ring apron and distracted Raquel. Chelsea then ended up hitting Raquel with a backstabber. She started stomping Raquel's face into the turnbuckle. Chelsea ended up slamming Raquel face first onto the mat. Chelsea ended up going for the cover, and Raquel kicked out. So Chelsea delivered a drop kick to Raquel. She ended up going for the cover. Raquel kicked out. At the end of the match, we had Raquel end up delivering some clotheslines to Chelsea. She delivered a couple of fallaway slams. So we had Raquel end up climbing the second rope. She ended up hitting Chelsea with a corkscrew elbow. Raquel then ended up hitting the Tejada bomb. She ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Raquel Rodriguez ended up winning the match. Post-match, Raquel was on the ramp. And then we saw the return of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. So Ronda and Baszler end up attacking Raquel from behind. Ronda got on the mic. She ended up telling Raquel to defend her title. So Shayna ended up kicking Raquel's left arm. So Ronda was like, "Oh, if we don't defend this title, we're going to just, kick your ass until you put the title on the line." So that was basically what happened. But this is all leading up to Raquel and Liv losing the titles, and it's going to go to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. So when that happens, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler will be your new Women's Tag Team Champions. So then, as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Imperium were backstage. Gunther ended up shaking Paul Heyman's hand, and Gunther ended up walking away. Heyman ended up using his phone. He ended up telling it to call Roman Reigns. So Paul Heyman was there because, he has a visitor's pass to Monday Night Raw tonight, even though he is on SmackDown with the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, and, the Bloodline. So, pretty much basically, with Paul Heyman having a visitor's pass, what is this, like the wild card rule again? What are we doing here? So then, we have part 2 of Corey Graves' sit-down interview with Seth Rollins. Corey Graves ended up saying to Rollins that there have been many versions of him since he exited the Shield. We had the Monday Night Messiah. Now we have, of course, the Architect. So then, Corey Graves ended up asking Rollins why the current version of him is the best. Rollins ended up saying that his hands are on the wheel, and he gets to experience the most authentic version of himself. Rollins ended up saying that there's an organic relationship with himself and fans for the first time in his career. So then Corey Graves ended up asking Rollins, why should he be crowned the new World Heavyweight Champion? And Rollins ended up saying to Corey Graves, because it's time for change once again. So without a doubt, Seth Rollins is winning the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. It's the best way to go, and it's right for business. So Seth Rollins will be your World Heavyweight Champion come Night of Champions. Main event. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Of course, they were accompanied by Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio, which they were also out there. So this was a good match here. This was a good main event. So the match started off with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. They started off the match. Sami Zayn locked in an armbar on Balor, but Balor delivered a back elbow to Sami Zayn. Balor then locked in a headlock as he ended up running to the ropes. Sami Zayn delivered a hip toss to Balor. So Balor ended up getting Sami Zayn in the corner, and he tagged in Damian Priest. Damian Priest delivered a right hand to Sami Zayn. Priest then ended up lifting Sami Zayn up. Sami Zayn landed on his feet. He ended up pushing Priest face first to the turnbuckle. Zayn then tagged Kevin Owens in. So Kevin Owens ended up hitting Priest with some chops to his chest. Kevin Owens then laid in some right hands to Priest. Owens then delivered a kick to the side of Priest's head. He ended up throwing Priest to the outside of the ring. Balor got into the ring, and Kevin Owens ended up throwing Balor to the outside. So Balor ended up calling for Rhea Ripley and Dominik. And both Rhea Ripley and Dominik end up walking out. And so Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then as the Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Balor was in control of the match. He delivered a chop to Sami Zayn's chest in the corner. Balor ended up backing up. Sami Zayn ended up hitting Balor with a clothesline. So both Balor and Zayn were down. Both guys ended up making tags to their rightful partners. So Kevin Owens and Priest ended up coming in. Priest and Owens went at it. Owens delivered some right hands to Priest. He started stomping on Priest. Priest rolled to the outside. Owens then delivered a clothesline to Priest, which Owens ended up following up with a senton. Owens ended up throwing Priest back into the ring. And Rhea Ripley ended up going for a clothesline on Kevin Owens. But Owens ended up ducking that. He ended up hitting Dominik with a clothesline. Owens got in the ring. He ended up hitting Priest with the cannonball. So Owens ended up going for the cover. Priest kicked out. Owens then ended up running to the ropes. And Dominik ended up tripping Owens. And Priest delivered a right hand to Owens. The referee ended up seeing that, with Dominik end up tripping Owens. So the referee end up ejecting both Dominik and Rhea Ripley from ringside. So as Rhea Ripley and Dominik end up walking up, the ramp to the stage, Xavier Woods end up running from the back and attacked Dominik. So both Xavier Woods and Dominik were fighting to the back. Priest then end up rolling Kevin Owens up, and Kevin Owens end up kicking out. And so Paul Heyman then walked down to the ring. So I'm like, all right, he shook hands with Gunther, and now he's walking down to the ring. So what's going on here with Paul Heyman? So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Paul Heyman was on the ramp. Balor ended up throwing Sami Zayn to the ring steps. Priest then delivered a snapmare on Owens in the ring. Balor ended up getting in the ring, and they double teamed on Kevin Owens. Priest ended up going for the cover, and Owens ended up kicking out. Damian Priest then placed Kevin Owens on the top rope. Priest climbed to the second rope. Owens knocked Priest off the second rope, and Owens delivered a swanton off the top rope onto Priest. Sami Zayn got back on the ring apron. Balor was then tagged in, as did Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn delivered some clotheslines to Balor. Sami Zayn then delivered a Michinoku driver to Balor. He ended up going for the cover. Balor kicked out. So yeah, Balor ended up delivering the sling blade to Sami Zayn. Balor ended up running towards Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn ended up hitting Balor with the Blue Thunder Bomb. So Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover, and Balor kicked out. So then we got Imperium. They walked through the crowd. They were at ringside. Balor then ended up slamming Sami Zayn onto the mat. So Balor ended up going for the cover, and Owens broke up the pin. So Priest got into the ring. Owens ended up hitting Priest with the stunner. Priest ended up throwing Owens to the outside. Sami Zayn then laid an exploder onto Balor. And then Sami Zayn delivered the Helluva Kick to Balor. So Imperium got on the ring apron, and they distracted the ref. Kevin Owens got into the ring. He knocked both Vinci and Kaiser down. Kevin Owens was on the outside. He ended up going face-to-face with Gunther. Priest then delivered a chokeslam onto Owens. Sami Zayn delivered a splash over the top rope onto Damian Priest. Sami Zayn got back to the ring. Kaiser and Vinci distracted the referee as Gunther held Sami Zayn's leg. So that led to Balor delivering a drop kick to Sami Zayn. And then Balor went up to the top. He hit the coup de grace onto Sami Zayn. He ended up going for the cover. And there you go. The Judgment Day, Balor and Damian Priest end up winning the match. So Paul Heyman was shown smiling post-match. He was speaking on the phone as Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, I thought this was a good main event here. Very enjoyable main event with these teams. But Monday Night Raw tonight, very mid-show it was tonight. Just very boring. Just a mid-show, in my opinion. But anyways, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite. So, see you then.